Greetings, Algo artisans. Why is Mantra exploding right now? Well, first of all, it looks like it might be a pretty good coin, but there is some news. Let's go ahead and jump into the charts right now. Okay, so here we are looking at a weekly chart of Mantra going back to really 2021, and the height was in December of 2021. This was the prior cycle that was at 32 cents, and it has already breached its all-time high, and not by just a little bit. So let's look at the actual gains that happened since last year. So it started out at about 1.5 cents, and it is now up over $1, sitting at $1.05. So this is going on something like 70 times profit, times 75. That's massive. That's a really, really big gain. That's one of the best ones we've seen in this cycle if you go back to that period of time. And if you just look at this chart, this is a monster 2024 run. So let's take a look at what this might look like from a target perspective. Now, the trend to the upside is as such. You have higher highs, higher lows, much higher highs, and of course a higher low here, and price is moving up. So if I were to take a look at some higher targets here, I would go from the bottom of this second impulse up to the top here. And just for a shorter term or midterm trading scenario, I would look at targets over here around the $1.28 and the $1.57 mark. That's where I look at targets for that. It might be a little late to get in on this bounce right here, but we might be able to see some success with a breakout of the all-time high and a pullback. And it's literally right at the all-time high right now. It's just above it. It broke and it is above. It's got 3 days in this 5-day candle to close above, but it certainly has closed above on some lower time frames. But I would like to see it close on at least the daily on the higher time frame above this all-time high going back to April. This is really, really jamming. All the algos are bullish on this thing. There's not really enough of a pullback in this current move for me to try to do any kind of Fibonacci targets. So the best shorter or midterm targets I can give you are what I've already given you. And that's about all there is. I mean, this chart really is kind of a FOMO chart. So I know over at Algo Factory, we do have a formula for trading FOMO. And those of you who are with Algo Factory watching, then you know what to do on this coin with trading it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what this coin is made of. What's it all about? I can tell you it's a real world asset coin, and this is the news. We're going to start with why this thing is really, really doing well this last week or so. Here's a theory from Crypto Potato saying, is this why Mantra hit all-time high despite overall market stagnation? And what they're referring to with the stagnation is the post-halving lull. The all-time high with Bitcoin has pulled back and price is consolidating, but it is consolidating just below that high, which is actually pretty strong. But yeah, sure, you could say it's stagnating. Things tend to stagnate before they move in either direction, up or down. And it says here that Mantra's token OM surged after partnering with UAE's ZAND to tokenize real-world assets under Dubai's VARA regulations. Now, for those of you who have been living under a rock, Dubai is basically the Switzerland of the Middle East. A lot of business goes down there. People who do not like each other will go there to do business. People who are mortal enemies will do business in Dubai as if they're friends. So this is where a lot of business goes down, a lot of money in Dubai. And it says here, on June 10th, OM, the native token, the decentralized finance platform Mantra, reached an all-time high of $1.09. This milestone coincides with the project's strategic expansion efforts within the UAE. It says here, Mantra is an RWA Layer 1 blockchain designed to adhere to and enforce real-world regulatory requirements. It provides a permissionless blockchain for permissioned applications targeting both institutions and developers. What that means, right? RWA is real-world assets. This is the tokenization of things that you would trade elsewhere. Stocks, real estate, precious metals, you name it. If it's a real-world asset, the idea here is to tokenize that and trade the rights to it on the blockchain. And this is a very popular narrative right now, RWA. And this particular token combines it with decentralized finance. And there's still a lot of people who are expecting a DeFi summer. Well, the summer's starting in about 2 weeks. So if we're going to have it, it's going to happen soon. It says here, the OM token is central to Mantra's ecosystem, allowing holders to participate in various DeFi activities such as lending, borrowing, and earning rewards. Additionally, OM holders can vote on proposals that shape the platform's future. So holding OM allows you a certain level of access to governance, if you will. So obviously a big partnership, at least a memorandum of understanding, which is the beginning of a possible partnership with ZAND, which is a UAE-based digital bank, to establish clear frameworks for the tokenization of real-world assets, RWAs, in compliance with the Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority of Dubai. So that's what may have caused this price surge. Also, they did secure $11 million in a funding round led by Shodok Partners to advance tokenization of real-world assets. assets. So we're getting a pretty good idea of what this is all about. Let's go ahead and take a look at the website. And again, they're boasting regulatory compliant infrastructure for builders. So these are people who actually want to build on this blockchain. It says they are the leading real world asset layer 1 blockchain built for developers. So these are people who want to be devs on here, right? Multi-chain compatible, access to cross-chain interoperability through Cosmos Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, IBC. So definitely making it a diverse asset here. Enables developers to build secure and robust dApps with ease, build and operate in a regulatory compliant and transparent environment with Mantra Chain modular desk stack. So definitely aiming themselves at the devs. In fact, this is where you first go when you go to the site. It's for builders. So really marketing towards them. However, you get to learn a little bit more about traders here and how they're aimed at it. You've got KYC, AML screening, audited smart contracts, on-chain staking coverage, and insurance. And here are some numbers here. For Ohm staking, you've got BNB chain, APY 14%. These are all 14%. You got ETH, Polygon, and then you have vaults. So you're looking at Gold Token Vault, 12% APY. They have their own swap function, so you can swap and trade right here on there. Liquidity pools and farms. So obviously they have a lot going on. There are definitely people who like to do liquidity provision, provided that this gives enough pairs or enough liquidity for provision to be profitable. A lot of money could flow here. There's a lot of LP out there. I don't know how popular this is going to be, but the actual swapping, staking, things like that, what I like about the staking is that it's a realistic percentage. You're not looking at somebody saying, hey, we'll give you 25%, which really in the real world is not quite as likely. Now, as this becomes more popular, there's a decent chance that this APY will fall, right? That's usually how things work. This coin is really gathering popularity, so it might be that this was at those unrealistic levels before, but now they can offer less to attract more people because of their popularity. But this is the DeFi aspect of this. So again, combining the real world asset aspect and the DeFi aspect is going to make this very popular. And obviously they've got the blessing over at UAE, which is where a ton of money flows. So here are some stats for Mantra. You have market cap at 881 million, which is actually not bad in a way. It's below $1 billion. And if this really is going to be a successful real world asset token, then that market cap should be rather attractive, meaning that real world assets are in the trillions. So some say the quadrillions. I would say the trillionth at this point. I really honestly don't know. I don't think anybody knows. However, when you're sitting at $1 billion and this thing technically could go to $1 trillion, I mean, really, if it becomes the premier real world asset, then only 1/10 of the gold market is going to be $1 trillion. And they actually offer gold token, which is by the definition of RWA tied to real world gold. So this could easily times 10, times 100. I mean, really, the sky's the limit, given that this gets the go ahead. And just a reminder, this is not investment advice. Any investment can go to zero. It's very risky to put your money on the market, so make sure you talk to a licensed investment advisor before risking your money. And again, these blessings over in UAE are something that I would not ignore in that sense. Now, the 24-hour trading volume is about 10% of the market cap, which is actually pretty good. Total value locked, about $1 million in there. So this is the capital deposited into the platform in the form of loan collateral liquidity trading pool. So it's actually a relatively low number per market cap. Probably be careful with these numbers. Sometimes the reporting is behind. So I wouldn't hold them to this right here. I imagine it's a bit higher at this point. But again, we're just going on what this says. What I do like is that the circulating supply is not that different from the total supply. And the max supply is the total supply. So now there may be people out there who have a lot of these coins who could potentially sell into the market. It's not that dumping on the market is impossible, but what you don't have when you have the circulating supply nearly equal to the total supply, you don't have people with a huge percentage of the supply that can dump on the market. There are still yet about 60 million tokens out there. There's still a significant amount out there, but it isn't like there's half the supply locked in to the project for somebody just to dump on the market when things get tough. That's actually a good thing. And here's their Twitter, and this is the last bit we'll look at. What really caught my eye was this Mantra and Ondo. A little bit of a, I don't know if it's a collaboration. I don't think I would call it a partnership yet, but what it says here is Mantra tokenizing RWAs, incentivize multi-chain USDY vault is opening soon. Mantra and Ondo Foundation will incentivize a multi-chain USDY vault, allowing contributors of USDC to gain access to low-risk short-term US Treasury treasuries yield. Additionally, those holding until the Mantra mainnet will receive even more rewards, Ondo and mainnet OM tokens. So pretty cozy with Ondo there, which is another RWA, and really many feel is the premier RWA token. So for these to be neighbors and friends is actually very encouraging. This could be a bit of synergy here, right? 2 people equals the power of 3. So very interesting stuff. I do think this is a really interesting narrative. You could even call it a sub-asset class, real world assets tokenized. And to have the blessings of the UAE, and Ondo, by the way, has friendships with BlackRock, it does seem that these tokens are getting love from the establishment, if you will. And if you look on Mantra's website, they have a whole different section for institutions to gather data and work with them as well. So these tokens could do really, really well. I hope this video is helpful. Please come over to algofactory.tech. We teach people how to build their own trading method, otherwise known as an algorithm. You don't have to know how to code, but if you do code, we can put you on the path to where you can build something that trades for you while you're not at the computer. If you just want to trade manually, which is what most people are doing, then that is, of course, something that we can help you do and help you have the capability to possibly extract money out of these markets on a regular basis. And while we do focus on crypto for a lot of these videos, I'm actually primarily a Forex trader, and you got to know that crypto doesn't go forever. It goes for about a year, year and a half, and then for a couple of years, there's not much going on in crypto. And if you want to be a trader, you're going to want to understand how to really trade, how to put on those big boy pants, because what's going to happen is eventually crypto's going to flatten out and the meme coins aren't going to be what they used to be, most likely. I've seen it enough times. I've been in this game since 2017. I don't expect that to change. So come on over, learn how to trade. As a matter of fact, we got some pretty happy customers who are already down the path of success in their algo building. Let's hear from one of those right now.
Hey guys, so I've been in Algo Factory for around 10 months now. I held crypto, but I hadn't traded crypto or Forex before. Since joining, I've learned a massive amount that I use almost daily for trading, reading charts, using indicators, and understanding different aspects of the market. So I found the course incredibly easy to follow, and the interactive style of teaching is incredibly beneficial. So now that I'm comfortable in my trading ability, I'm starting to invest more capital, and projections are looking very promising. My goal is to be trading full-time in the future, which I believe is highly achievable. I've met an amazing community of like-minded people and made some great friends. In my opinion, both V and Cowboy go above and beyond, and I highly recommend joining Algo Factory. Thanks for everything, legends. Cheers.
All right, don't forget algofactory.tech. Trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you on the next one.